Hi Kumar, how are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Kumarji, how are you?
Good, good. I'm just getting Narsi as a co-host. 1 minute. Narsi, are you there? Narsi.
He is not joined as yet.
No, Narsi has joined.
Joined, is it?
Yeah.
5.
Narsi?
Hi.
Hi.
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
Okay, now let me make you the co-host.
Good evening, Badri sir.
Hey.
Okay, I'll make you the host. Narsi?
So early, so nice.
Narsi?
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
I'll make you the host.
Whatever, host, co-host, cap.
Okay, I already made you the co-host.
I just should be able to mute people, that's all.
Just check.
हो रहा है.
हो रहा है ना? Okay.
Good evening, Suganan sir. You are muted, sir.
Okay, okay. I heard you are asking to mute. Good.
Good evening, Sugnan.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Kumar. Good evening, Badri sir.
Good evening.
Very good.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi Badri,
Hey. Omi.
how are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. How are you, Omi?
Thank you, your hairstyle, Lars.
Very glad.
Kumar,
Tell me.
you've enabled the waiting room. Do we need it?
1 minute.
Shall I disable it?
Disable it.
Good
Suresh
evening.
ji, how are you?
Good evening, Khanna ji. कैसे हैं आप?
बस नरसी साहब, आपका
Oh,
your
good.
your
Good evening, Omi ji.
going down.
It is-
नमस्कार.
Yeah, coffee or tea?
टी यार मैंने कहा 1 घंटे का at least have my tea now.
Suresh Patel ji, how are you?
Good, good.
अरे वाह, finally Zarel is.
Yeah, Zarel is there.
Where is there?
No, like Kathakali, Kathakali, the curtain will take time to open. So, Suresh bhai, Cyril, I am seeing after a long time.
Hey, I'm there for all the meetings, yeah.
But you always used to, video used to mute. That's it.
Guru, you see, I don't want to put you all to shame.
He's always behind the scenes. There you are. Hi, Zarel.
Nice to see you.
I
कभी कभार वीडियो ऑन किया कीजिए आप, अच्छा लगता है.
Hi, Jagdish.
good evening, OP.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good, sir.
Good evening, Vidyut and Jagdish. Good evening.
Jagdi. Good evening.
Hey, Badri,
Yes, Daryl.
where you come from, man?
Yeah. From Timbuktu.
No, you looks like your cat has had a street fight, yeah.
Jagadish, that Kushal Nagar, what you put, it is just recently, yesterday?
Yes.
Hi, Vidyut.
Not muted. Jagadish, not muted, not unmuted.
Hi, Vidyut.
Yesterday. Hi, Zaril.
Yesterday.
Hi, Vidut.
Hi. Hey, Kumar, how are you?
Hi,
Hi.
Jagdish is here.
Yes, sir.
Well suited.
सबको सूट पहन के बोला है.
Other entrepreneurs. Ajit and Gansham, they have not yet joined.
Good
No,
evening.
sir. They are being punctual. We are a little early.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, sorry. It is 5:45. Yeah.
In Rakesh and Nagesh.
Good evening, sir.
Daryl, you are the real entrepreneur. How is your car, electric car going on? Daryl has gone out, out of circuit, is it?
No. I'm over here, OP.
So how is your electric car and components going on?
Hey,
No answer.
We shall talk tomorrow, OP.
Hey, Ranga, hi.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it is time. Tumala is there. The host has come.
Hero has come.
Hey, you are the hero of the night.
Hey, Ranga, you need your tie. Please go back and put on your tie.
Seriously?
Hi, Ranga.
Oh,
Good evening, Ajit sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Hi, Marcy.
Good man, we are all decked up there.
so Ajit.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Omiji.
Ah,
Hi, sir.
Ajit,
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
As a ace entrepreneur.
our Badri sir is here. Hi, Badri sir.
Hi, Ranga.
Hi, Badri. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good evening.
Nodi
Ajit.
from Higidiri. Hi, Zaril.
Good
The
evening.
third entrepreneur, Gansham, where is he?
Yeah, he's here. He's here. Gansham Rai has come.
He's
He's
come?
muted his mic.
I see.
Yeah, now he is on. Nay. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening to everybody.
Good
Hi,
evening.
Ganashamji. Namaste.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Shamji, namaskar.
We have our Rishi.
ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಆಳಗೊಂಡೆ
So I think we'll wait until 6 o'clock, right? And then we can start.
That's right, Ranga. 6 o'clock.
Start exactly at 6.
Has Ganshamji joined in?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Oh, yeah.
We can
Kumar
see.
sir. Hi, how?
Hi.
Our Nagesh Siddhanti in the morning.
Hi, Narsi.
Our fellow PNI friends as well. Nice. Hi, Rahul. Hi.
Ranga, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you, man. Long time.
And our Ganesh is here. Where are the youngsters?
ഇത് എന്താ പറയാ വൊക്കേഷണൽ സർവീസിന്റെ ഇതാണ് പാനൽ ഡിസ്കഷൻ
Narsi? You don't see any road tractors, man.
Oh. Invite them.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to do now. Okay, another 10 minutes to go. Our Suresh Patel is there, but he's not showing himself up.
In Venice.
Yeah, he's in Venice, correct.
I don't see Jagdish. Is he there?
Here, by. Switch on your gallery mode. Ramesh Agarwal is here. Oh, our Singham is there.
Hi
guys.
How do I get out
Hi,
now?
Vijay.
Join back again. They're
Hi
still on.
everyone.
Guy is also there.
Leave the meeting for now and then join back later.
Are you in participants? Oh, you're not in participants.
Bye.
How do you leave the meeting?
Bye.
Hello.
Okay.
Rakesh Nair looking chikna man. Ajit sir, namaskara.
Namaskara, Vijay ಅವರಿಗೆ.
Oh, I see Nagesh Siddhanti is also here. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Nagesh is just hearing our conversations. We have Prashant
Ranga
Shetty.
looking dapper, Ranga.
Oh,
You and,
that
Ajit
was the
are
plan,
looking dapper.
Mane.
Hi, Vijay.
RBI, man.
Who's in a
Sir,
jacket?
namaskar.
Cinema.
Hi, Ramesh.
Ramesh Agarwal.
Hi, Ramesh ji. Hello.
Ramesh Agarwal.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Ganesh,
Bye.
how
Hi,
are you?
Ramesh.
Good.
Kanna sir, namaskar, Kanna sir.
Namaskar.
ಕಾಣ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಗೆ
ಯಾರು?
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಚೂರ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Yeah, then we can see. Yeah.
Ramesh Agarwal ಇದಾರಾ?
ಇದಾರೆ.
ಅರೆ, I play badminton with him daily, yaar.
Oh, this is bad.
Very good, nice to see him.
Colonel is in.
Last
Hi, Ranga. Good evening.
Good evening, Subbu.
Hi, Vijayawani. Hi, Colonel Subbu.
Hi, Shyam. Ganesham, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Ghanshyam ji
Hi,
looking
Subbu.
much younger now, yeah?
Vijay, how are you? All big wigs here, yeah? Big wigs. All entrepreneurs.
All are wearing wigs except for me. I'm not wearing any wig. I'm the original.
Hi, Ramesh. How are you?
Hey, they're all big wigs. You're no big man.
No wig.
You're big wig.
Our club is bigger than anything else.
Hi, Badri. How are you?
వీడు మా పదవాడు వాడికి చెప్పులంతా ఎత్తుకొని పోయి ఎవరు పెడతాడు అదంతా
ఏమయ్యా నీవు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడించరా
Most likely it's Badri.
My dear man, you're the head. Speak in the
Subbu
language.
sir. Namaskara, Subbu sir.
Namaskara,
Are you wearing
sir.
purple glasses or what?
I wear all sorts of glasses. It
Yeah, now
turns
it's looking
whenever
black,
I see
purple,
you.
colorful.
Purple.
Weird.
Looks like the brand name of the glasses, Chameleon.
Yeah. I see my brother-in-law also there. Hi,
Yeah,
Vishu.
he's very much there.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Hi, Vishu.
All entrepreneurs here, bhai. I'm the
Someone
only
said
Fuji. The big entrepreneur. Hi, Ajit.
Hey, hi, Subbu, how are you?
Very fine. Looking very smart. Absolutely fit for the.
Thank you, boss.
Huh?
थोड़ा सा शो ऑफ करना है यार, कभी-कभी.
अभी रोड ट्रैक्टर लोग थोड़ा डरेगा.
डरेगा क्या? तो आइल उतार लेंगे क्या?
Hi, Supriya.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Supriya madam.
Jaggi Dada is in $1 million smile.
River.
Yeah.
Default mode.
He only smiles, doesn't need to talk only.
Where Jaggu Dada?
Jaggu Dada smiles means everything is done.
Jaggu sir. Namaskara sir.
Now Suresh Bhai is visible.
Someone said Nagesh Siddhanti is here.
Hi, namaskar.
Nagesh Siddhanti is there.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Nagesh Siddhanti.
Hi, everybody.
Suresh Hari sir. Good evening.
ओए लिफ्ट करा दे
सर जी नमस्कार, म्यूट करा
कैसे हो यार
So far so good sir, चल रहा है.
Hi, Suresh.
All good.
Good
yeah,
evening,
thanks.
all.
Good
Oh,
evening.
the
Good
Harry is
evening.
here. The Harry.
I should have.
Yenappa, Rai. How did you
No
find
more a
time
dirty
here?
Harry. He's a good Harry now.
ಏನು ಸಂಡೇ ಬೇಗ ಕೆಲಸನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ನನ್ಗೆ.
ನಿನಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಪ್ಪ. ಅಜಿತ್ ರಾಯ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸುರೇಶ್ ಪಟೇಲ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ದಿ ಗ್ಲೋಬ್.
ಹೌದಾ?
ಹೌದು,
ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈಗ?
ಅವ್ರ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಉರಿತಾ ಇದೆ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ either he is in Golden Gate Bridge or in San Francisco Bay Area.
Now he's going to change the venue.
How are you otherwise, Ajit?
There. Nice.
Not bad, Kano.
Bye.
Good,
Hey,
good,
not
good,
bad.
good.
Managing to
Narsi
survive in these
bhai,
difficult
Narsi,
times.
Narsi is forever
No,
smiling.
no, that is the greatest thing, yeah. I see Ghanshyam ji, Omi ji.
Hi, hi.
Hi.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Bye.
The rarest
Jaggu sir,
person
namaskar.
even Jairam.
Hi Ranga.
Hi Vidyut. Hi Vidyut.
Yeah, otherwise don't see Jairam.
I'm always there, yeah. You don't look at it.
I see more of Narsimhan than Jairam. Narsi is more seen now. Your son-in-law Narsimhan.
Oh, yeah.
I see you more often than you.
You can see Patel scope now.
I know.
Teacher, na?
Aap
Patel
theek hai,
has
sir.
gone somewhere now. Venice.
Venice.
But he is looking like
Venice
you.
underwater. Venice underwater.
Akshay, hi.
Rakesh Nayyar.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Looking nice.
Hey, battery
Office.
boy.
Ranganath Kumtulla.
So you wondered what you invited Anand Mahindra also in the thing, is it?
Who's there?
Ghanshyam ji, kaise hai aap?
Nursi boy. I mean, battery boy.
Ekdam fit.
Battery boy is looking like Anand Mahindra now.
Who is that?
He is bigger than Anand Mahindra.
Narsi, Narsi is a better
Hey,
Narsi.
Shanky, Shashank.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Vijay, don't call him Narsi Anand and all. Anand is nothing. Anand looks like Narsi nowadays.
Hi, good evening, sir. Ghanshyam ji. Hi, Ajit, good evening.
Good evening.
Very Jagdish.
Jaggu bhai is
Jaggu is there.
$1 million smile.
There. Jagdish, he just switched off his video. He's there.
Oh, okay.
Suguna Nekes, good evening.
Hi, Hari, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Hey, Shashank, Kekre, Rascal.
Yes, sir.
I heard yesterday that your masterpiece, Suresh Agis. RIS.
Hi,
I saw
Jagdish,
you.
good evening.
Subbu, Colonel Subbu, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Nice talk yesterday.
Are Badri is looking different. Which planet is he from? No, white on top, black muchad. Elli dye, wrong side dye.
The president is come.
President is there. Huh? Wow.
Good evening, President.
Welcome, our president.
Good evening, sir.
President ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ, ಪ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡೋಣ.
Good evening, Suresh bhai. Suresh bhai has joined us from where?
Can't see the pant. Oh, no.
Suresh bhai, which country are you in now today?
Venice.
Oh, okay.
Ranga, you please ask the count. Those who are staying back for dinner.
Good evening, Nagesh.
Nagesh, he's gotten. I don't know.
Nagesh is there. He is frozen.
Very much.
I saw him.
Our president is at a beach. Mauritius or Egypt.
Suresh bhai is in Rome, is it? Italy.
Kerala.
Gopi is there. Gopi, Baski. Jayashree Simha is also logging in. Good.
That is Simha. In Jayashree's through.
Our Prabhakar sir is here. Gopi is there. Hi, Gopi.
Good evening.
Hi, Prabha.
Hi.
Hey, Prabha.
Yes,
Prabha.
Yes, sir.
Hope you are not golfing and all, no?
Oh, golfing.
Shut up, yaar. All you fellows are crazy, huh?
It's on hold.
Every day, this KGA sends a message. Somebody tested positive. We are maintaining. They are maintaining positive status.
Suresh, there are enough people who want to get out of the house.
I know.
Our doctor is there.
The course is full.
I know.
You want to say that if you look at statistics,
Ah,
one out of a couple of hundred is not bad. 1-4 ball.
I know. That's okay. That's okay.
And there's a lot of fresh air.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And you get fresh COVID, is it?
Yeah.
It's the best is avoid the caddies, give them the money, pull your own cart here.
Yeah, no. No, a lot of guys, they do that.
That's the best form.
Yeah. No, but we're not sure that's a caddies or the guy who went somewhere else.
I know. Somebody who is coming there to play also can be.
Yeah, caddies are fully washed with
Poor thing, yeah.
disinfected. Yeah, so.
But it is not the caddies which are bringing the virus. It is the players, you know.
Players, exactly.
No, actually, Ghanshyamji, this ailment was brought in to the humanity by the rich and affluent. The poorest of the poor are suffering because of this.
That's right, absolutely. This is how it started. That's right.
We're traveling, coming from different parts of the world.
Right.
Whether we can spread happiness or not, we are spreading this faster.
Minute to go, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc Sima, say hello.
I think we can start. Right.
Say hello, no?
Hi. Hi, Doc.
Bye, muchkondiddare ಏನು ಇದು meeting ತರ
Hi, Ramesh.
Narsi, we can start at 6 o'clock.
Narsi, let's start.
Oh, President,
Sima should give one lion roar.
Okay, I think you'll have to mute everyone.
Bhaskar. What are you doing, Bhaskar?
Bhaskar engira Bhaskar.
Hi.
Jaggu Dada.
Shall we start, Ranga?
Yeah, I think let's start, Narsi.
Okay. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. President Doc, AVS Shrikant, my fellow Rotarians, Rotractors, and my dear friends. Am I audible?
Perfect.
Fantastic. I used to have my office.
Narsi, 1 minute. You have muted all of us. Don't ask questions, please.
No, I asked the question to only the one who I unmuted. That is Ranga.
Go ahead, boss. Go ahead.
Okay, I used to have my office in an incubation center a few months ago, before the COVID thing happened. So somebody asked me, how long have you been in business? So I said, around 26 years. So immediately he was confused. But he said, you are in an incubation center meant for startups. How come? So I replied, I have been a startup for the last 26 years. I am still starting. So, which is why I do not feature in the panel today, luckily, which is made of some of the most successful businessmen and entrepreneurs of Rotary Bangalore Indiranagar. We have the immensely successful Rotarian K. Ajit Kumar Rai, industrialist, serial entrepreneur and philanthropist, founder of Superjit Group. We have Rotarian Ghanshyamji Agrawalji, industrialist and philanthropist, founder of the Francis Klein and Company. And then we have our ever smiling Rotarian Jagdish, industrialist and philanthropist, founder of GI Auto Private Limited. Before I hand over the proceedings to today's moderator, who himself is an extremely dynamic entrepreneur, Rotarian Ranganath Kontumala, I want to say a few words about entrepreneurship in our country. Whenever we think of entrepreneurship, we immediately think of people like Bill Gates or Elon Musk or maybe Mark Zuckerberg. But just a moment. But let me tell you, friends, the greatest entrepreneur is the vegetable or fruit vendor outside our house or sitting near the crossroads. She invests her savings in the morning, buys perishable goods, and hopes to sell them by evening so that her family can eat that night. If she does not sell the vegetables or fruits, they may go waste, or may even have to be thrown away. But nevertheless, she takes that risk, and armed with hope and faith, she invests and sits there waiting for customers. And she does this day in and day out. So the next time anybody dissuades you or discourages you about entrepreneurship, citing risks, tell them this fact. We in our country have perhaps the highest number of entrepreneurs anywhere in the world. Every street vendor, every shopkeeper, every small and medium-sized business owner is an entrepreneur. And let me tell you a very interesting fact. When I was writing this speech, I did not know that India has in fact the highest number of entrepreneurs in the world. But it is true. We are on the second place in the world after Chile. So armed with hope, faith, and other important qualities, go forth in your journey. Today, these three amazing entrepreneurs will share their life journey and tell you how you can become immensely successful and also stay grounded, just like them. Over to you, Ranga.
Oh, fantastic, Narsi. That was a lovely, lovely introduction. So, my turn now to welcome our fellow Rotarians. A very warm welcome to our distinguished panelists, our fellow Rotarians, and most of all, our special audience tonight, for who we actually intended to come up with this talk, the bright young minds who are the emerging entrepreneurs of tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to host our very own Rotarians from Rotary Bangalore Indiranagar in this panel. This evening, we are privileged to have amongst us successful entrepreneurs with a stellar record over the past few decades. On behalf of all of you, I would like to thank these industry captains for having come forward to share their valuable insights with us. So to facilitate this eagerly awaited session, we request you to follow these meeting protocols. Please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Be mindful of the background noise. Kindly punch in your questions in the chat box, all of which shall be addressed if time permits. Kindly specify the name of the panelist you're addressing. Last but not the least, please limit your distractions. I know we have had too much of Zoom by putting your mobile phones on silent mode. We'll start the meeting with an introduction about our entrepreneur, and they will speak about themselves or narrate a rock solid story which got them into entrepreneurship. Let's start with our Ajit Kumar Rai. Our Rotarian Ajit Kumar Rai has done his graduation in mechanical engineering from National Institute of Engineering, Mysore. He has also done his master's in industrial engineering from Dalhousie University, Halifax, Canada. After completing his master's, Rotarian Ajit Rai returned to India and set up his first generation enterprise, Suprajit Engineering, a small scale unit to manufacture automotive control cables. Today, as we all know, Suprajit Engineering Limited is amongst top 500 listed companies in India. Suprajit has acquired many companies, namely Phoenix Lamps Limited, which is into the making of halogen bulbs, Viscon Controls, a Kansas, USA-based non-automotive cable maker, and most recently, India Halogen Assets of Osram. Suprajit's rapid growth has been achieved both by organic capacity expansion and 6 strategic acquisitions through its journey. In the process, it has now 100% owned subsidiaries like Viscon Controls, Suprajit Europe in the UK, Luxlite Luxembourg, Trifa Germany, and Suprajit Automotive India. With more than 20 plants in India and overseas, and a 7,000 plus strong workforce, they are a force to reckon with. They have consistently ranked amongst the top 3 companies in the world. As a first generation technocrat entrepreneur, the first cable plant was conceptualized, planned and executed by our very own Rotarian Ajit Rai. In the past 30 plus years, he has gained comprehensive experience and in-depth exposure in management by setting up new plants, getting new customers, developing suppliers, building the required team, working closely with all stakeholders. He also has hands-on experience in mergers and acquisitions and setting up of international businesses. He's the member of American Institute of Industrial Engineers, CII, ACMA, and an active Rotarian. He's involved in many CSR initiatives through Suprajit Foundation, as we all know. He's married to Dr. Supriya, a practicing dental surgeon, and the couple is blessed with 3 sons. The floor is over to you, Ajit sir. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Narsi, please have our Ajit sir's mic unmuted.
Thank you, Ranga, for that wonderful introduction, and good evening to all of you who is on this Zoom call. It's good to be amongst you to tell a bit of our story. Ranga has given an excellent introduction. Entrepreneurship is about taking the road less traveled by, as famously said by Robert Frost. I want to narrate a small anecdote of how I landed where I am today. This is a story about 35 years ago. I did my engineering in India. I went to Canada, to Halifax, to do my master's. Post my master's, I had an opportunity to stay back in the US. I had a job. I also had an admission to do my PhD in management sciences. Something in me told me that I want to go back and do something in India. And you know, in those days, in the 70s, 80s, 99 out of 100, the Indian students who went to US went with the single-minded purpose of getting a degree, finding a job, and settling down. Here I was a guy, you know, completely out of whack with the time of those days time, and wanting to go back to India. Most of my friends said that you're a bloody fool to go back to India, because in those days, the 80s, the Indian economic condition was so bad, and the economic reform started only in the early 90s when Mr. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister. And the challenges were huge, and I was a brand new, fresh graduate. I didn't have any experience. So even my family was completely flabbergasted by my decision. But I said, I want to go back and start. And you have talked about various things that Suprajit has done, multiple acquisitions, multiple plants, going out of state, going out of the country, setting up plants outside of the country, developing customers all over the world. We export to some 80, 90 countries. But I think when I look back in my lifetime, the one decision which has transformed me, and when I look back, the most difficult decision that I have taken in my life is not all these milestones that Ranga talked about, but that decision to get back to India was the best decision and the hardest, but at the same time, most satisfying and fulfilling decision when I look back today. So I think that is the anecdote that I would like to leave with all of you. Thank you, Ranga, for the opportunity to talk.
Thank you, Ajit sir. I can completely connect with that, because entrepreneurial ride is no joke. And you know, we are called fools by many of our friends and family when we start off, and only when you do hit success is when people actually kind of appreciate the efforts. So thank you so much. Friends, now let's move on to our second panelist, Rotarian Ghanshyam Agarwal. Ghanshyam ji has a fabulous record, and he's been there, done that for a pretty long time. Ghanshyam bhai has done his master's in industrial engineering from New Jersey Institute of Technology, USA. Like our Narsi said, he's the owner of Francis Klein and Company. They are into the business of importing machine tools from Germany and Switzerland. They have a wide network of branch offices in major industrial cities. He has been actively involved in this family business since 1973. He's been responsible for setting up many new ventures in this very specialized field. He is a leader who has forged relationships with various SMEs from Germany to India as their joint venture partner for his company. A few companies to name being GERB Vibration Control System Private Limited, Nagel Special Machines Private Limited, and many more. He's a very passionate entrepreneur and takes pride in maintaining high ethical standards in business. He's involved in various community service projects, like we see him day in, day out. He's also a member of various associations like IGCC, IMTMA, BCIC, etc. Ghanshyam Bhai, it's immense pleasure and satisfaction for me to have you address us. The floor is all yours.
Thank you, Ranga. Thank you for a nice introduction. It is my pleasure to address all of you. Good evening, friends. I would like to mention about my first experience as an entrepreneur. My father left his village when he was at the age of 15 in search of better opportunity. By end of his career, he had established various successful commerce and engineering industry. After my graduation, instead of joining my family business, I wanted to do something different. I tried to set up a electronics component manufacturing unit. We were living in Calcutta, so I was planning to do that. But somehow I could never get off the ground due to various reasons. This was in 70s and 80s, and everybody knows how difficult it was to set up any new company at that time. Eventually, I moved to Bangalore, not knowing what I will do here, but I said I must try something different. We could finally sign up a German joint venture with a company which was manufacturing vibration isolation system. This is a totally new product which I was not exposed to, but it is used in the foundation for presses, hammers. It is used in the power plant for generators, for crushers, for pumps, etc. So far, I had spent all my time in marketing of state-of-art machine tools from Western countries. This was a great opportunity for me to get into manufacturing from trading. And I took this as a challenge, and we said, okay, let us start, let us see what we can do. Even though the product was fairly simple to manufacture, the challenge was to find it highly reliable, which lasted for more than 20 years. We built a production team with good knowledge in various processes like welding, shot blasting, painting, material, etc. Also, the big challenge was to market this product and convince the user and their civil engineers regarding the benefit of using this unconventional system as against a conventional foundation. We built a strong sales and application team for that. Fortunately, the financial help was available from family resources. The initial period was hard due to lack of business. We needed to prepare time for the market and accept the concept in India. We kept our investment low and operating costs low, utilizing the available resources. Most of the people recruited by us initially are still working in the company or retired in due time. I exited this business in 2002 due to my other commitments, but with the excellent relationship with my German partners. Subsequently, we set up several other joint ventures based on this experience and learning. What did I have to be successful? I had passion, I had motivation, I had the product and the financial resources. For an entrepreneur, the most important is to think big, but start small. Finally, as somebody has said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage that to continue that counts. So thank you very much. I hope I have given little insight into what I have done. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic, Ghanshyam bhai. Fantastic. What actually always inspires me is your humility, your humbleness. That's something unparalleled. And like you always say, that first step is always the crucial part and the most toughest part to take. And after that, it's a journey. It's an experience by itself. Friends, we have now heard from 2 AKS from our club who have donated to various causes and participated in various avenues and made a fantastic impact in our society. And we now have an AKS in the making, our very own Jagdish, who is our third panelist. He is a very unassuming entrepreneur who doesn't come about, who's not an extrovert kind. But there are some things which are fantastic, which I think all of us should know. Jagdish is a bright chartered accountant by qualification. He's a numbers guy, and that's why he's so successful today. He is the managing director of GI Auto Private Limited, which is into the manufacturing of auto components to auto OEMs such as TVS Motor Company, Yamaha Motors, and Bosch. The company exports parts to flow control manufacturers in overseas markets in more than 18 countries. And more than 20% of GI Auto Private Limited's revenues comes from their export businesses. GI Auto Private Limited presently has 5 units which are state of art and are all in and around Bangalore. They have a strong, well-trained workforce of more than 350 employees churning out parts day in, day out. All the units are company owned and have been established with a capital investment which is upwards of 25 crores. During the fiscal year 2018-19, the company grossed over 100 crores in turnover and are targeting to double it by 2025. We wish you all the best, Jagdish. Our Jagdish is also an active Rotarian and is involved in many CSR initiatives. As the president of our Rotary Indiranagar Club for 18-19, one among the many things that he has pioneered is the cause of Anganwadis and has steered it to great heights. A very warm welcome, Jagdish. The floor is all yours.
Thanks, Ranga, for a nice introduction. Yesterday, I was talking to Ajit. It's only between 2 heavyweights. It's just a small mouse is here in front of elephants. So, thanks for giving an opportunity. Yes, after completion of my chartered accountant in 1995, I joined GI Auto, and further to that, then it was about 20 lakhs turnover companies just begin with. And fortunately, with the real good vision and good customer base, we were able to reach, as Ranga rightly said, about 100 crore last 18-19. And it's a real challenge. I'm basically an accounts man, but today, if you ask me, I know the if I am able to read the drawing or anything technical, I'm very perfect. I'm able to do that. That means it's a fashion. So it's not necessary that the technical man only can learn and these things. A fashion is required to become a. It's a part of the driven whatever the activities I take it very seriously, and I believe the 3 areas where entrepreneurs need to be very it can be a good success when if his planning is good, and second one is a financial management is, third one is a human resources, man management. I believed in these 3 areas and put whatever the best effort. And God's grace, everything is going well. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank Ranga once again.
Oh, thank you, Jagdish. That was short and sweet.
Hello.
Always say you're the numbers guy. Yes, Mr. Kumar. Kumar sir, you wanted to mention anything?
I didn't want to say anything. Go ahead, Ranga.
Okay. So, friends, let's open the floor. Now that we have heard from our panelists, let's open the floor to some questions that will help us in understanding more about entrepreneurship, which is like the vibrant topic today. And fortunately, we happen to be in a time when the startup ecosystem, especially in Bangalore, which is like the Silicon Valley, which is called the Silicon Valley of our country, is very, very vibrant. And we have so many people coming up with such bright ideas. And we see unicorns day in, day out, getting funded and getting into the next level. So we are somehow fortunate to be in a time, in spite of these uncertain times, at a very vibrant spot. Having said that, let me ask Ajit sir a question. Ajit sir, financing is a very, very big challenge to any entrepreneur. So what's your take in terms of starting your journey of entrepreneurship through the initial capital? And once the capital is raised, how do you take care of the cash flow management as you grow?
Thank you. Yeah, I think, in our times, I'm talking about 85, there are only two ways one could fund. You bring your own money and hope to get some bank loan. I think times have changed now. I think there are all the way from angel investor to venture capitalists to private equities to fund you. In our times, we didn't have anybody else. It was all the family money. So what's important for an entrepreneur when he's, conceptualizing his project, it is essential for him to understand what would be the cost of the project. If the cost of the project is 100 rupees, and if he's trying to and hoping that everything will be done in 100 rupees, I think he or she is mistaken. Because what happens in the journey of implementing, there are many a times the amount of money that you need exceeds what you originally planned. So if you're convinced about a project, and if there is a project plan is made and there is a cost of the whole project is established, you must have a little deeper, pocket to make sure that when the project and the timings go awry, or if it does not work out the way it is, you should be able to do the course correction. You should be able to get that extra cash in your hand to make sure that the project gets through. Otherwise, you get stuck after 90% of completion. So I think that's very essential to have that extra cash to start with. How do you fund it is another discussion. We can have that. The second point is that once you start generating cash, how do you manage your cash? A lot of entrepreneurs went bust just because that they put 100 rupees into the business and they wanted to take out the first 100 rupees out, and the whole business went bust because there is no cash flow in the business. So it is essential to make sure that the cash flow is managed. You have to be very careful about what you are getting from the customer and what you're paying out your other stakeholders, your employees, your suppliers. It is essential to make sure that you have positive cash flow to manage your business, at least in the initial years. Once you have enough cushion and once you have got enough bank balance, then you can do a lot of things that you want to do. So it is important to make sure that the initial project cost is funded well with an extra cash in your pocket. And also, as you start operating, it is essential to make sure the cash flows of the business stays in business. One of the mistakes that many entrepreneurs make is the cash flow of the business is diverted to something else. I think that is important to make sure that the cash remains in the business. Later on, when you're flourishing, you give dividends as you like and take the money out. But initially diverting the funds are the reason for many of the entrepreneurs fail.
Like you rightly said, cash is the king. So
absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, Ghanshyam Bhai, what do you think, or what's your advice to a young entrepreneur starting out today?
My first advice is he should be convinced what he wants to do. It is a long haul. So he should not get disheartened initially when he starts out. He should have very clear focus. He should know 4 things how to manage. He should know how to manage his money. He should manage how to put his team together. He should know how to market the product. If you make excellent product, but if you do not know how to market it, you will not succeed. So marketing becomes a very essential part of, integral part of it. And therefore he has to concentrate on doing all these things. It depends on what skills he has. If it is entrepreneur has to deliver himself a lot more than what he can depend on other people. So therefore it is his conviction which counts, you know.
Absolutely right. The passion, the focus, and the gut feel, like we say, the gut feel is what takes us to the next level. Thank you. Jagdish, Jagudada. So what do you think are 3 good areas that a successful entrepreneur should focus on?
You're muted, Jagdish.
Jagana, you're muted.
One is the planning. The planning includes everything from initial stage, the planning, how you do. It's a basic, it's a till end. In engineering, we call it as a PDCA, plan, do, check, and act. Whatever these activities, total cycle, it should be it should be complete. Second one is financial management. As Ajit sir rightly said, see, if the money is used specifically and planned well, and then it will be there in business. So the whatever the amount withdrawn by way of dividend, whatever this thing is, but the financial management, and the third one is a human resource, like man management. I feel these 3 areas are very, very important. You need, even though you may be having some product, but as Ghanshyamji rightly said, if the marketing is not there, if you are getting order, but you are not able to produce the parts, then automatically you will be not there in business. So all these matters. So I feel these 3 areas are very, very crucial. Many other areas, but these are very, very important for entrepreneur to be a more success in his venture.
Fantastic, fantastic. Ajit sir, back to you. So how does one challenge his or her idea or product that they want to go ahead and focus on?
I think, you know, all the entrepreneurs think that whatever the idea they have or the product they want to do or an app they want to develop is the best that they think the whole world will accept. But I think many a times what I think or the entrepreneur thinks as a great product may not be what the market wants. So it is essential to challenge your idea yourself first. Say that, okay, why you think the others will think this is a great product and will buy it from you. Secondly, I think you should network with people in the business, in and around you, to understand what they think of the product, and then possibly do further market study to understand whether this product really is needed in the marketplace. Because many a times we think the idea is great, but when the product gets ready, the customer may not be thinking the way the entrepreneur thinks. So challenging your idea, reconfirming through third party to say that this is the right thing to do, getting the customer's acceptance of your product or your app, whatever it is. I think these are all essential parts before you put your money in. Once you put your money in, you are in the game and you cannot back off, or you probably will burn your fingers. So it is essential to do a lot of groundwork, make sure that the product that you're doing is what the market wants. I think it is the first most important work an entrepreneur has to do before he launches anything or even starts anything. So it's very important part of, you know, getting into business itself.
So do you mean it's more of one playing a devil's advocate or one being solid in terms of the survey that should go in before you get into a venture?
Yeah, I mean, survey is important to understand whether what you think is what the market wants. Ultimately, whatever is your product, however great it is, if the market doesn't want it, I think it's all waste of everybody's time. So it's essential to understand your market, the acceptance of the market, the competition in the market. You may have a great product, but somebody else may be having another product which is better accepted. The product brand is better accepted. If you're trying to launch a soap, for example, there are so many soaps. Are you going to, yes, soap is needed. Yes, it's a good product, but there are so many people. Can you penetrate that market? The study of the market and the uniqueness of your, USP of the product, all that has to be critically assessed before you, try to get into this kind of, the entrepreneurial journey. The point is that, I always say entrepreneurship is also 5% luck. You get the right product and you launch it, and 95% is all hard work. So that initial, the 5% luck is that initial thing, that you have to get that right product or the idea, which needs to be, vetted by multiple angles to make sure that that's what is the market and the customer is willing to buy.
Absolutely. Like we always say, right? The harder you work, the luckier you get. So
yes, sometimes.
Correct. So yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. We always come up with this concept of minimum viable product. Rather than going all out and putting all your eggs into one basket and then realizing that the customer is not willing to pay for your product, it's always good to test waters and do your initial survey and do your initial groundwork and then get into it. The likelihood of you tasting success is much more compared to you not doing this. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Ghanshyam bhai, you've been there in the industry from eons. So what do you think is the biggest barrier today to entrepreneurial success in the present context with all the challenges that we are having? What do you think are some of the biggest challenges or the barriers for entrepreneurial success?
I would say one simple biggest barrier is finance. You may have great product, you may have great ideas, you may execute well, but if you are lacking finance, you cannot do. As an entrepreneur, very few people have deep pockets. He starts out with meager saving or depending upon other people. Today, cost of setting any project is exponentially high, and therefore you need deep pockets. The way the banking system works in India, it is not really for SMEs. I have sat in the banks trying to get my working capital limit, not even the long-term financing. And I have had my checks bounced for 500 rupees, So therefore, please consider the financing as number one aspect before you start doing anything. Because if your finances are not in right, anything you do will not succeed. This is my personal opinion.
Fantastic, fantastic. Financing does play a very, very important role. We have seen that, and I think slowly we are having some state policies which are working towards getting these sorted out, because we have great minds, we have great ideas, but in terms of execution, you need that cash flow. You need to hold on until you taste success, until the first fund comes in, until you are self-sustainable. Yeah, we completely agree that you need that initial funding. Jagu Dada, what do you think, say the entrepreneur has started his journey and he has the limited finances and he is taking care of the cash flow management for the say next 5 years. So what do you think are the bright spots for entrepreneurs in the next 5 years?
Yeah, see, the government policies are changing now. It's good that a lot of initiatives government is taking. It helps industry to grow. But I put it other way. See, there are in India, we have 3 levels of industries. One is a small MSME, small scale industries. Second one is a medium scale. And third one, large scale. See, the large scale industries like Suprajit Engineering, Bosch, TVS, they are totally professional and it's managed professionally. And the medium, I mean, the small scale industries, they are the real sufferer. In the sense, it's basically one-man show. Nowadays, customers' expectations are too much, and they are asking so many certifications, and the demands are more. And you don't know how they are going to. It's a matter of survival. But the level, the MSME small scale industry is very small. Is almost about 50% to 60% of the Indian industries are MSME, small scale industries. It's a real challenge for them to survive. And the middle, where the middle segment, wherein industries may be about having a turnover about 100, 500 crores to turnover, they're neither professional nor down below. So it's a real challenge for these type of industries. So now, 5 years down the line, I feel the Indian government as well as the state government is giving a lot of support to MSMEs, and these are the backbones of Indian industry. If they grow, then automatically bigger industry supports will be there, and opportunities are high. And adding to that, now the latest issues of China, it's add to, I think, a lot of today also there for defense, a lot of support for Indian industry. It's an opportunity. We are getting a lot of opportunity. Maybe next 5 years down the line, there will be a lot of improvement, or things will move in a right direction, I feel.
So you say there are challenges, but at the same time, there are some bright spots.
Absolutely. The business is like always, you are in a different ball game. You know how the situation, you have to face all type of problems. Problem will be there, but a lot of opportunity will be there. Next 5 years down the line, opportunities are very high. It is a time. Only thing is we need to decide right path, right directions. See, not that the things, see, some of the business which are very good, like hotel industries. I will tell you example. Now this latest COVID case has come, or aviation industries. They were doing exceedingly well before COVID. The one instance of this COVID has come, and it has come such a bad state of affairs. And so many industries or that particular sector forced to close. And orders are stopped. See, this is the cyclical this thing, but still we are very optimistic, and things will move in the right direction. 5 years, I think we can see a lot of changes in Indian industry.
Perfect, perfect. No doubt that, like I said, we are in the best time of our life when it comes to entrepreneurship today, thanks to a lot of VC funding coming in, a lot of exposure, a lot of technology awareness. So yes, there are challenges, but at the same time, like they always say, every challenge brings with it a wonderful opportunity. So Ajit sir, we are having a lot of questions coming in. Let's take them one at a time. Before that, what's the importance of mentoring for any entrepreneur?
Yeah, mentoring is, I think, very important and essential for any entrepreneur. I was blessed to have many mentors during my journey of entrepreneurship. I still remember a general manager when I was starting up of the TVS, who helped me to understand what manufacturing is, what and how to run a manufacturing unit, because I was just a fresh graduate out of college. In the process of last 35 years, I was certainly blessed with having multiple mentors. In fact, I have a Rotary mentor, probably is listening into this. In various spheres of our life, we end up meeting people whose inputs are invaluable to us. To understand maybe that particular part of our challenges, in business, it could be in finance, it could be in management, it could be simply about, when you're an entrepreneur, you are boss unto yourself. Whom would you talk about your deepest concerns, deepest worries, deepest troubles, deepest issues where you are still not sure what the right answer is? So you need to bounce off those ideas with somebody whom you can trust, who may not be, somebody who is, your boss, or I mean, in an entrepreneurship that doesn't happen, but somebody with whom you can have a heart-to-heart talk, with whom you can share your concerns, who will not be able to give a solution, but he'll be able to give some pointers which could take you in the right direction. So I think one of the success that I have had in my business is largely because some of these mentors that I had over the period of time, some of them are still there. Some of them continue to mentor me. I still bounce with them, my ideas. I was really blessed to have them. So for an entrepreneur, you know, many a times, you know, you don't know every side of the business when you start. So it is necessary to get some inputs. It is necessary for you to talk openly with somebody. So for the new entrepreneurs, it's essential that you develop, you know, either through the industry circles, either through your associations or from your friend circle, from the family, somebody, or not just one mentor. I think, I don't know how many mentors I had in my lifetime, but it is necessary to have this pool of strength who can advise you, guide you, who can give you certain pointers, certain directions in your life. So I think mentorship is one of the most important parts as you grow your business and to be successful, I think.
Fantastic. Ghanshyam bhai, now that you talked about how banks play a role in terms of financing and how you've had so many challenges, a big business person like yours facing the embarrassment of having your checks bounced and stuff like that. So what's the advice, or what do you think are some of the changes that's required in the state policies today to make entrepreneurship better in our country?
I feel the state has to be more proactive with the business. It is not only paying the lip service, it is something which state need to hold on to. There are a lot of new policies which are coming with this new government. I am very much encouraged to see that. And I am very happy that the government is taking these steps to help the SMEs. One of the new policies is announced by our finance minister regarding the new definition of MSME itself is a very big step in that direction, because today MSME need to get support from the government, which is a large buyer, in terms of getting also some certain amount of protection, because our technology, our know-how, our cost structure is such that we cannot compete with giants. So if MSME has to compete, it needs kind of a hand-holding. Second thing, the payment procedure of the government sector is very poor. They have to give support to MSME so that they can get advance payments. They can support their vendors. Otherwise, it is not possible for them to finance such projects. So therefore, I feel that government should be more proactive with the MSME to support them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we also see that the government is stepping in now. And there have been instances when they're trying their best, but we do have a lot of red tape which needs to be undone with. And then maybe we can see that. Ajit sir, would you like to take a question from Gopi, our fellow Rotarian?
Sure.
He asks, how do you decide when is it the time to scale? The cash in hand, and how do you assess that there is enough demand to scale? What's the transition point? How do you sense the transition point?
No, the scale, well, I would put it this way. You have to first assess your market size. I think, let me talk about my product, cables. When we started with TVS, TVS was our customer. Once I finished with TVS, then I said, what is the next scale? Who else is interested in my product? So I touched base with another half a dozen two-wheeler, I'm talking about in the 80s. Touched base with them, they said, yes, we are also interested. So it is necessary to have a continuous interaction with the marketplace and see whether there is a demand for your product. If there is a demand for your product, if one marquee customer has accepted your product, it is fairly likely that the other customers also will accept it. In our case, they were also importing from wherever they were importing, and we were an import substitute product in those days. So we knew that there was a market demand. So once we realized the market demand, we went to the customer and said, look, If you're willing to support us with some business, we'll increase our scale. So that's how we went on scaling up from one plant to, as you rightly said, nearly 20 plants today. So we continuously assess the market size and see whether there is a place for another player. We also assessed who is our competition. Is that competition is surmountable or not? Can we create our own niche in that business? And is there a place with the price that we are offering for us to make a reasonable return on investment? Once these, there are multiple things in this actually, but once we come to a conclusion that there is a market and there is a customer and the product has an acceptance, I think then we make an investment into that. So in terms of the investment per se, I think it's a question of how we scale that project, what is the sizing of the project, what is the plant size, what is the investment. Typically, it so happened that after the first couple of years of hard times, we have been always cash positive and there is a reasonable cash flow for us. So we typically said that, okay, we will put, let's say 1 crore into the business and we'll borrow another 1 crore from the banks. And that's the way we continuously, increased our scale of business, what I would call as a debt equity of 1:1, and scaled our business continuously. So one is to understand the market size and say that, yes, can you play in that market? See, we are a two-wheeler player to start with, and then we decided to go to the four-wheeler. Then we decided to go to the overseas market. Then we decided to go to the non-automotive market. The idea is the confidence of the team. Can we play in that market and be successful? Once that decision is critically made, I think the investment, once the company is doing reasonably well, I know there is a saying, when going is good, everybody wants to fund you, but when the going is not good, people don't want to fund you. So when we are doing well, I think people just fund us. So we have not had any good problem on finances as such. Yeah. Of course, we also went public at some point for raising money.
Okay. The challenge is always like a chicken and egg story. So
yeah, but I agree with you. But the point is that I think it's essential to understand that if there is an opportunity, you should be willing to take the risk. Many a time, okay, if I could have been happy just with TVS. I could have said, okay, TVS is a great company, supply to them and be happy with. But I was not happy. I had more fire in the belly. So you need to make sure that, yes, there is a better scale that you can achieve. And you should have that, fire in the belly to say that, okay, I'll take on that risk. So there's a continuous risk taking that you need to do if you want to really grow or stay in the size where you are.
Absolutely. No two things about that. Absolute optimism and self-belief and pushing your limits. That stress is always an important thing. Without stress, nothing bends. So how you kind of channelize all your energy and how you come out as a better person is what I think helps a successful entrepreneur. Jagu Dada, we have one question from our Vidyut Bhai. He says, do you have any advice on specific challenges that a service industry entrepreneur needs to focus on at the start, as the costs are hazy and are unknown? So what he basically means is, what are your advices to entrepreneurs from service industry?
Yeah, service industry is altogether a different ball game. See, now in present circumstances, it's altogether it's running in a different this thing. See, now service includes your software or software service and other industries. Basically, as we discussed, you need to identify the area where you have opportunity, and if you have a passion in that, whether that particular area, you should believe in you, whether that particular area is having opportunities are available, and you should have a passion whether that particular area is in a position to meet your get the demand. Once then subsequent activities I think you can start with, but only thing is once you start your passion and once you plan well, never give up. So give more and more trust, and basically your management and finance management take care. Then automatically I think over a period of time, it's a matter of time, maybe ups and downs will be there with every entrepreneur. But initially, you need to decide, and you should have a passion to drive that particular area where you are going to select in service area.
Absolutely. And service industry is more like a double-edged sword
Yes.
than a product industry where more or less all the three of you are part of. Service industry, what do you call, how do you kind of put a figure to the services that you're offering? What's your bottom line? So service industry is a very, very big challenge. I think we can easily have another session on service industry and still we'll have a lot of questions unanswered. There have been a lot of questions coming from our Rotarians about four-way test and its relevance. And I've been trying to control it, but I think it's just spilling over. So how has our Rotary and how has the four-way test impacted you? And what made you turn into a philanthropist? Ghanshyam bhai, maybe you can take it up first.
Yes, I would say that my various projects, especially the first one I started with, the project was built on trust and relationship. Many other family-owned German companies saw our joint venture as a model joint venture. The German SMEs are very reluctant to come to country like India. However, they have taken cue from our joint ventures and they said, this is a successful, we have run it for more than 25 years successfully. So therefore they considered this. So trust was very important. It was result of friendship and goodwill between the two families, two parties of different nationalities. So we have built two nationalities together. It was beneficial to the partners, but more so to the local community because we gave them employment, and to the nation because we brought new technology to the country. So therefore, it has withstood the test of four-way test in all respects. And I'm very proud that we have done this project which really meet Rotary standards.
Fantastic, fantastic, absolutely. We have seen that, at least day in, day out from the many years that I've been seeing you. You walk your talk, you do what you say. That's something phenomenal. Ajit sir, we have one more question pertaining to service industry. Mr. Rahul asks, what is the best way to motivate your team and inspire all to follow the company's ethos, vision, and code of conduct? So how do you basically empower your team to back your vision?
I think the first is to lead by example. I think if you are doing what your written documents say, people understand. I think it is important that you first do what is expected of you as a leader. I think people will follow you as long as you have been fair, you have been, again, bringing your, Rotary four-way test. If you're truthful, if you're fair, people take you as a serious person. People take you as a leader. People take you with an awe, saying that, okay, if my boss is doing this, I should also be doing this. So whether it is service industry or manufacturing, I don't think there is any difference. The rules and, the norms and the standard operating procedures, all these are something that you need to deal with. Today, when I go to the office, I have to show the, the green of for the COVID test. I have to get myself tested for temperature. I have to get my, the pulse, whatever, oximeter to be checked, just like anybody else. So I am not any different. So as long as you become a part of the team and lead the team by your own example, I think people, do what is supposed to be done. So they don't break the rules. So I would say that you have to set the example yourself. Absolutely,
lead by example. I think that's the mantra, and I've honestly seen that from not doing it to doing it, and trust me, it's a big game changer. Our numbers person, Keshav Das, has a question to our Jagu Dada. He says, what's the importance of proper accounting? He feels many new entrepreneurs think accounting is a nuisance. So how important do you think is accounting? A numbers guy to another numbers guy. You'll have to unmute Jagana.
See, accounting is one area we should be very, very careful. And it should be, as Ajit sir rightly said, money management, it matters more. And the money withdrawal, whatever in bank or this thing, you should be extremely careful. See, area where we are normally entrepreneurs, they do start a startup beginning. After a few years, they withdraw the money and then they go to bank. And few of the entrepreneurs run 100% with the bankers' money. So that's very, very dangerous, and we should be very, very cautious. Particularly, my suggestions to newer entrepreneurs should be extremely careful for first 5 years, and you should have you should know, even though you may be an engineer, but as far as accounting is concerned, you should know what is your bottom line, what is your top line, and then only you will be in a positions to move forward. And particularly as far as accounting is concerned, is very important. Accounting matters with the inventory management. Suppose particularly for manufacturing industry, inventory management is one of the area where it matters more. And other your fixed overhead and other overhead, unless otherwise you watch on that on a continuous basis, where are you standing? And business goes and ups, but the fixed cost remains same. See, particularly I will tell you example now. One classic case I would like to tell you. This hotel industry, wherein now a lot of hotel industries are closed recently. Basically, those who are having a own building, building, and those who are not having a much bank obligation or loan, they're able to survive. They're able to postpone their closing for a 1 month, 2 month extra. But those who are in rented premises, those who are in with a banker loan, they're in a very, very tough time. So that's the reason accounting is one area we should be extremely careful. We should know our balance sheet, where are we, particularly bottom line, and the particularly manufacturing industries, the inventory management and other overheads, you should have a close control on your overall cost.
Absolutely.
I think I answered our great guest.
Keshav Das. Yeah. Ghanshyam bhai, now we have a question from Kavita Parmesh. She is specifically addressed this to you. She says, Ghanshyam ji, what is your view on new age businesses like Flipkart and Ola, who are not profitable? We always talk of bottom line, but now is a time when they don't look at profitability, but are highly valued. Should an entrepreneur focus in building turnover or focus on profitability? She's also a numbers lady. So
I would say very simply, bottom line is the most important in any business. If you don't make profit, you should not exist in business. The business by virtue is to make profit. How much profit you make is a different issue. I think Ola or Flipkart or any others, I do not know what is the basic model, how they are surviving and how long they will survive. I have no idea. I have no exposure in this business. We are in a brick and mortar industry where we have to count our profits every day, every month, every year. We have to look at our accounts receivable. If you don't receive money, any sale is a zero sale. Money in hand is money in a business. So therefore, I am very clear that business is there to make profit.
So you say without bottom line, nothing works.
Nothing works.
You can't burn cash and still run your business. It's just a bubble waiting to burn.
If it is your money, you will not burn. If it is someone else's money, I am willing to burn.
So I think we have one common question coming from everyone. Though it's something very, very private, they want to know from all three of you. One common question is how to get their bank balances like all three of you. Anybody can take it. I think Ajit sir can.
I would take it first. Look, the bank balance is not the aim to make a business. if you are looking at bank balance, you will not able to serve the society, serve the community, serve your employees. You should look at how to make healthy business and not healthy bank balance. Business is to be healthy. And to make it healthy, you should serve all the pillars of society. This is my.
Fantastic. Ajit sir, your take.
I would say I think it's important to excel in what you're doing. It's important to be successful. I think when you excel in your business, become a market leader in business because you're successful and you have been focused, you have been hardworking, you have been determined to achieve these goals. I think the money comes, it's like a byproduct. I think to me today is the success the company or our project has achieved or the excellence we have achieved in the international market. That's a lot more satisfactory or satisfying feeling than the bank balance. As I said, if you're successful, you know, the bank balance flows in. So, I mean, it's, I would say a byproduct, but it's important byproduct, but it does happen.
Absolutely. I think the focus should be more on you delivering the product, you delivering the customer's expectations, bypassing their expectations with proper cash flow management, and the byproduct happens to be a good, successful company with a good bank balance, right?
Yes.
Okay. We've had a wonderful session, gentlemen. I think we have actually overshot by more than 20 minutes, and the questions have still been pouring in, and maybe we can take it on another day. So let's call it, in this very high, let's ask our Kumar sir to add a few including notes.
President Srikanth, your closing remarks, please. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Ranga. Thank you, Kumar. Dear friends, good evening. We have just now heard three prominent entrepreneurs, Ghanshyamji, Ajit Rai, and Jagdish from our club, share their incredible journey of entrepreneurship, which is a hot topic all around the world that fascinates many. Our panelists shared their perspectives, and I'm sure you would have found that particularly enlightening and challenging. These three successful entrepreneurs had the ability to find and act upon opportunities to translate inventions and technologies into products, services, and were able to recognize the commercial potential of the invention, and were able to successfully organize the capital, talent, and other resources that turned their invention into commercially viable ventures. Listening to them, we have learned that entrepreneurship is a process that finds creative and innovative solutions. Like the quote by John Adams, every problem is an opportunity in disguise. Entrepreneurial vision is also defined by discovery and risk-taking, and is an indispensable art of a person's capacity to succeed in an ever-changing and a competitive global marketplace. An entrepreneur is someone who can fetch an opportunity out of a problem. All of them had vision and acted on opportunity presented to them, and that's how they are successful and where they are now. Passion and faith do play a big role in the journey of an entrepreneur, and if they weren't passionate or didn't have faith in their ventures, they wouldn't have been successful. We have learned a lot about entrepreneurship today, and I'm sure the youngsters who participated today were able to gain a lot of insight into the exciting journey. This should give them an impetus to embark on the thrilling journey of entrepreneurship like our panelists today. I would like to thank the three panelists, Ghanshyamji, Ajit Rai, and Jagdish, for taking time out and participate in the panel discussion and share their perspectives. Special thanks to moderator Ranga for conducting an interesting and engaging panel discussion. Congratulations, Kumar and Narsi, for putting up a great show. Good.
Entrepreneurship is something that is not taught in our academic system, unfortunately. Thanks to our Sureshwari sir, I did have the opportunity to go to IIM, but still, all said and done, entrepreneurship is something which is a big challenge and a big lacuna in terms of our academics. So hearing from the stalwarts like our Ajit sir, Ghanshyam bhai, and Jagdish has fabulously enriched our knowledge And we shall take this down to another session where we can take in the many questions that's come our way. Thank you, President. Thank you, Kumar sir. Thank you, Narsi. And thank you, our three great industry captains.
Thank you, Ranga, for the wonderful moderation, and thank you all for inviting us for this panel discussion. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Hey, you
Thank
give,
you, Ranga.
give
Thank you.
I
you
think now
get
we
millions
will open the
of
session.
rupees, you cannot get this team to talk. Fantastic, great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just would like to thank also Akshay Kirti, who helped us out in getting the audience of Rotaractors, their families, friends, and colleagues for this session. I hope all of you all enjoyed it, and thank you all the Rotarians, both from Indiranagar and other Rotary clubs of the district who participated in this. I hope all of you all really learned a lot and taken a lot of food for thought from this session. I think with this we can end this session, and a very good evening to all of you all.
Good evening.
Ranga, you did a great job.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for the.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Stay good.
Okay, I'm ending the meeting, sir.
Yes, Kumar.
Okay.